Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. It is your girl, your diva and knowledge here, Lady Mocha with Cafe Day Paris. Want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers who have made it into the chat room. I know it's kind of sudden. I didn't put a notification up until like an hour, maybe 30 minutes prior. So I understand if some of you couldn't make it because I know it was pretty sudden. But on that note, I still want to thank each and every one of you who took the time to stop in and rock out with me just for a moment. Appreciate all of you. Want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers, those who have been rocking with me from day one, those who just coming on board. Want to thank you for all of your support. Want to thank you for just always viewing my channels, for the donations, for sharing, subscribing. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all for doing that. Believe it or not, a lot of us who have channels, we don't get increases in our subscribers by ourselves. A lot of us are growing basically because of the support of our subscribers. So I definitely owe each and every one of you a big thank you, because my channel would not be growing had it not been for you guys. So just know that I appreciate each and every one of you, even if you don't make it to every chat room, even if you don't view every video. A little support is better than no support at all. So I just want to thank each and every one of you. Thanks for stopping in. K Love, I appreciate you. Welcome to the family. Wake the hell up. That's my dude. You know, he's always supporting my channel. I'm always supporting his channel. Thanks for coming in, Rollo. Thank you for coming in, Barbara Green. All is well. Thank y'all for stopping by to holler at me for a moment. Actually, all of you are in for a good treat, because what's going to happen is once this chat is over, I'm shutting it down and it's going to Patreon. So everybody who's viewing in, you're going to get you're getting a free video. You're not paying anything just for tuning in and checking out my my video that I'm currently in the process of recording right now. So once I put this up, it is going to Patreon, and over there, my Patreon, my videos are going to be $3 or more, whatever you choose to donate. So just keep in mind that if you don't catch some of my videos, don't worry, they will be available on my Patreon account. Also want to mention to anybody who comes in, if you view my channels and you see there's some commercials, if you don't click through those commercials, guess what? I actually get paid. So if you allow the commercials to play through when you view my videos, you're paying me without even putting money in my pockets. You get what I'm saying? So if you cannot donate, believe it or not, I get paid for every commercial that you allow to play through my videos. So that's just another way of you guys hooking me up. So I just thought I would let you guys know, because I know some people don't know that. But on that note, again, I want to thank all of you for stopping in. We're going to go on in on today's topic, on today's menu. Today's subject today is basically, it's too many people that is giving their relationship is basically on life support. It's a lot of relationships that are on life support. And the reason I say that is because I felt it was very imperative that I did this topic, that I've served you guys this recipe, because it's a lot of miserable individuals around here who really don't understand why they are miserable. It's a lot of miserable individuals that think they're miserable because of their jobs, or they think they're miserable because of their bills, or they think they're miserable because they are not where they want to be in life. Maybe they didn't accomplish some things that they thought they should accomplish by now. You figure you're 30. I should have been here by now. You figure you're 40. I should have owned this by now. A lot of our misery doesn't always come from things we didn't accomplish. Sometimes your misery comes from the fact of who you are with. Yes, I said it. A lot of your misery could have a lot to do with the type of individual that you have in your life, the type of person who you decided to commit to, who you decide to have a relationship with. And it's a lot of miserable men and ladies who are finding themselves in misery just based on the type of relationship they with. If you have a partner that's uncompassionate, not loving, not caring, not supportive. All of this can take a toll on your well-being, whether you want to believe that or not. It's a lot of men and women around here who are constantly beating themselves down, who are constantly in misery because they don't have the right type of partner in their life. They have somebody in their life that unfortunately does not have their best interests at heart. And it's a lot of y'all, men and ladies, who are in relationships that are dead. You're in a relationship that you should have gave up a long time ago, that you should have been walked away from. But it's a lot of people that they rather stick with what's familiar, because sometimes some people just rather stick with what's familiar because that is what makes us comfortable. But just because someone is familiar to you, just because that is all you know, that's where you've been the majority of your life, that don't mean that's the best place for you to be. What's up, D brother? Barbara Green, thank y'all for coming on in. Appreciate y'all for stopping on in. We're talking today, on today's menu, we're talking about these dead relationships. Basically, your relationship was on life support. It's a lot of people that are in relationships that have expired and has been dead for quite some time. But because of fear, a lot of people do not want to walk away from a relationship because they fear. They fear the fear of starting over, the fear of, not getting anybody else, the fear of, if I leave this woman, I'm going to have to give her half of my assets. I'm going to have to give her half of my company. It's a lot of people that are in dead relationships based out of fear. So basically, some of you probably don't even know you in a dead relationship. A lot of you probably don't even think you're in a relationship that is really standing on its last leg. A lot of people don't even see the signs, or they see the signs, but they're overlooking the signs because they want so badly to make a relationship work that has been retired. So basically, that's the purpose of me doing this video. I plan on breaking down all of the signs. I plan on breaking down all of the elements, so you can have a better perception if you're in a relationship that is basically on life support. A lot of y'all are in dead relationships. You're trying to resuscitate and give life to a relationship that's been over long time ago. So on that note, we're definitely going to go ahead into these elements and into these dynamics, so you will get a better understanding if you're in a relationship that's even worth fighting for, or if you should have threw in the towel a long time ago. Okay. So just kind of follow me on this. I wrote down this in my notes. So if I kind of stumble a little, or if I repeat myself, just forgive me or whatever, because I'm reading from my notes. But that's on today's menu. We're talking about, relationships, basically, relationships that are on life support, that are pretty much on the end, pretty much on his last leg, because a lot of y'all are in relationships that are basically on his last leg, and you want to keep lying to yourself and making yourself believe that some way, somehow, this relationship is going to work its way out. So I'm going to give you the signs, and we're going to break them down one by one, and that way you can take the signs that I give you and apply it to your current situation. That way you have some type of sense as to if you're in a relationship worth fighting for. Yeah, Robert, the fear of being alone, absolutely. And that fear is especially for women. Women that's the number one fear for women. Men have that too, but unfortunately, women, the majority of us, we fear being alone, especially when you have children, especially when you don't have all the finances you need, and your significant other, your companion, has been helping you pay the majority of the bills. That's your children's father, all type of reasons. But we're going to definitely go into all the elements. But yes, Ms. Green, that's number one. A lot of people fear being alone. Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. Now, here are some of the signs. Okay, the first sign is when your companion is not happy when you're around. Basically, every moment you and you and your companion, you and your man, you and your boo, you and your old lady, every time y'all get together, they basically have an attitude. They basically act like you are taking up space in their life. They just get agitated being in your presence. When you start having issues like this, slowly but surely the relationship is diminishing, because the truth of the matter is, even the best relationships don't want to be around your partner every goddamn day. Now, I don't care how much in love you are. We all need space. We all need that me time. Every man needs that. Every woman needs that. As a woman, you have to have your me time. If it's not your me time, you just want your time to just where you gotta mingle with the girls and have a drink or two. And the same thing with you men. Men sometimes they wanna, go out with their boys and have a drink or two so they can just kind of chill and kick back. Every grown man, every grown woman needs their own space, which is true. But if you find your companion, they seem to be more happier around their family or more happier around their friends. But when it's just you and them, they always have an attitude. They seem disinterested. They seem aggravated. Like, why the hell you here? It's like being around you is almost like being on a job that they don't like. Then you may want to definitely be cautious of that, because slowly but surely the relationship is losing its chemistry. Your relationship is on life support once your partner or your companion doesn't care to be around in your presence, doesn't like being alone with you, doesn't really like hanging out with you or chilling with you. That's not a good sign, because the thing about it is, you're supposed to enjoy your mate. Having a relationship is not always about bills. It ain't always about responsibilities. You're supposed to be able to enjoy your companion. As a man, you should be able to enjoy being around your old lady. As a woman, you should be able to enjoy being around your husband or your man, your fiance, whatever. Y'all should be able to enjoy each other's company. When it gets to the point to where every time your man or your woman comes in your presence, you just start feeling exhausted. You just start feeling exhausted the moment they open their mouth. That's a sign that your relationship might be on life support. And you want to be careful of that, because that's not good. You should be able to enjoy each other's company. I'm not saying you got to like each other every day. You got to be in love every day. Some days it's going to be boring. Some days your companion not gonna be in the mood. Gonna be times you not gonna be in the mood. It doesn't mean that the relationship is over. Just every relationship has its dry spells. But when that person is not happy being in your presence, that's not a good sign. So that's something you definitely need to consider as one of the signs that your relationship is possibly on life support. Now, the second sign is your partner purposely picks fights with you. Okay. Now, it's actually a couple of reasons for this. Um, Whenever it gets to a point to where both of you are just arguing over bull crap, it's a lot of nitpicking. It's a lot of arguing over things that are minute. This is definitely a sign that there's a problem. If the relationship is a constant battle, you ought to notice that it might be coming to an end. Basically, everything is an issue. You leave your clothes on the floor, you doing this, you doing that. Everything is a goddamn issue. Now, keep in mind that our relationships going to have their problems, and there's going to be times y'all are going to have to put each other in check. You as the man, you may have to put your woman in check about she may be spending too much money out the budget, and as a woman, you may have to keep your man in check and let him know things that he needs to do and stuff that need to be done around the house. Maybe he ain't cut the grass in a while. Okay, things of that nature. But when it comes to the point where that person is all constantly bitching all the time and constantly picking fights with you, basically they're getting tired of you. And it's to the point to where they really can't stomach your presence. So every little thing you do is magnified. Every little mistake you make is magnified. Things that normally they wouldn't give a rat's ass about, all of a sudden it's an issue. They bitching about you leaving the toilet seat up. They bitching about you didn't get the dog no dog food. They bitching about just you forgot to put gas in the car. Things that could easily be worked out. They make it a big, strenuous issue. If you're in a situation right now and you have a partner that is constantly nitpicking and bitching and complaining all of the time, your relationship is practically on life support. And then not only that, but I do notice too, when you have a partner that's constantly picking with you, 9 times out of 10, he or she is cheating. That has a lot that's another thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about. A lot of people don't think it's an issue, but if you have a man or a woman, in your life that comes home, and every time they come home they bitching and complaining about stuff, they looking for things to argue about. You didn't clean the microwave out, or you didn't feed the dog and all this other stuff. 9 times that could be a very big indication that they're seeing somebody. That they're seeing someone. You're trying to pick an argument with me just to have a reason to leave the house, just to have a reason, to go out. It's because you up to something. You 9 times 10, you got something. You got shady motives. If you're nitpicking and being arguments, what's the I'm tongue tied. If you're being, always constantly arguing, that's not a good sign. That means you're looking for something wrong, so you can have a reason to go out there and do what it is that you want to do. If you have a partner that's constantly picking fights with you, that is a strong indication that your relationship is on child support. When they get in petty mode, just petty about every goddamn thing, just argumentative. Yeah, that was the word I couldn't get out. Just straight argumentative all the time. You said you was going to buy some bread. You ain't bought no bread. I'm going out so I can go pick up some bread, and it take them 2-3 hours to come back. All of this being extra just so they can have a reason to leave the house, because what it is, they up to something. They doing something they got no business doing, or really they're trying to find every excuse to not have to be in your presence, because what it is, they're getting tired of you. They don't want to be around you. And some people are not man enough or woman enough to just say, this relationship is dead. I'm not interested in you. It's sad that you have grown men and grown women who just want to admit that they're not happy. Instead, they would rather just make their companion miserable than to just be man or woman enough to say, I am not happy with this relationship. I do not want to be with you. Instead, they would rather make that person miserable. And to me, that's just senseless. Thank you, Sadia, Asia, for stopping in and dining with me. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I apologize if I did it, but thank you for stopping in. D Brother, of course, this D Brother is one of my regular church members. Thank you to Mocha's ministry, D Brother. Samuel Williams, one of my regulars as well. Thank you. Thank all of you. I don't care if you new. I don't care if you're just getting in. I want to thank all of you. Big ups to Dawn McNair. Got to give a big ups to Dawn. She sent me a $20 donation today. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate you for supporting my channel. Thank you so much. She sent me an email, gave me a lot of positive feedback and energy, and she said, you know what, I want to go ahead and send you a donation, and she did just that. So I really appreciate it. And for those of you who have not been able to donate, I thank you as well, just giving me your time is just as valuable as money. Okay, so whether you donate or not, I appreciate all of my subscribers. However you contribute to my channel, whether you give me your time or donations or both, believe me, it's well appreciated. Okay, Freelance, what's up? Welcome to the building. Thank you. Welcome to Mocha's ministry. You are on time for church today. Praise the Lord. Don Bossolini, thank you for stopping on in. That's another one of my regular church members. Appreciate it. Of course, my boy Rollo, Wake the Hell Up, is in the building. That's my day one. Me and him are down like flat tires. Y'all always see him good most of the time or whatever. But For everybody who's just chiming in, what I'm talking about is giving signs that your relationship is on life support. Don't forget the thumbs up, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you, Steve Austin. You on time for Mocha's ministry today. You're not late for church. What's good with you? How's it going? Thank you for stopping on in. Absolutely. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, for y'all who are just chiming in, today's message is your relationship is on life support. And the reason why I'm doing this message is because a lot of y'all are in some dead ass relationships. Your relationships is dead as a corpse in a graveyard. And it's a lot of people that are holding on to unhealthy relationships that they should have let go of long time ago. Yeah, that's okay, freelance. I get it. I understand. Everybody got things they got to do. No offense taken. Anybody who got to leave, I understand. No love lost. Just make sure you put your change in the collection plate. You don't skip out of church early without at least paying your tithes. Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm just joking with y'all. I appreciate it. Yeah, as I was stating, so I'm basically breaking down the signs. I'm breaking down the elements of signs that your relationship is on life support. Okay, because again, it's a lot of men and women that are in dead relationships. Your relationship is just as dry as a Sahara desert. It's a lot of people still trying to resuscitate dead relationships that should have been over long time ago. Let me see. Yeah, I see Barbara has a question. Why do not men tell you it's over? Well, you know what I noticed, Miss Green? I'm gonna tell you something about that. I'll answer that question for you to the best of my ability. And if you men want to chime in, and help a sister out on this, y'all more than welcome to do it. That's the purpose of doing the chat room. We give each other constructive feedback, long as it's respectfully. That's all that matters. I don't care how you express it or what language you use, as long as it's respectfully, because we all grown here. I'm not in the business of babysitting anybody. So you free to express yourself however you want to in this chat room, as long as it's not, degrading someone or whatever the case is. Hey, we all grown. I'm not here to babysit or monitor what you say or how you say it. But anyway, you know what, Barbara? It's been a lot of women who have said that. And I'll never forget. I'm a big fan of TD Jake's ministry, because I like a lot of the material he gives. He gives a lot of good messages in his sermon. And I get it. Everybody not crazy about TD Jakes. Y'all don't have to like him because I like him. I'm not here trying to convert any of my subscribers into following who I follow or whatever. You free to follow who you feel is best to lead your spirit. But I'll never forget that one time on one of his sermons, he said he had one of his members come to him and say, it was a woman, a married woman, and what she said was, pastor, I don't know what could have went wrong in my relationship. She basically said that at the time her husband was buying her flowers, still taking her to dinner, still doing things, and he was still doing things like a husband would do, and out the blue, he just left. And it puzzled the hell out of her, like it would with any woman. And she said she don't understand. She didn't see it coming. He just took off and just left. And the reply that Pastor Jakes had gave her, he basically said that a man can be in it, could still function as a husband, can still function as a companion. He can still perform and his heart not be in it. Okay, he said basically because men know how to separate their emotions. He basically was insinuating that a man can still play the role, still pay the bills, and not even be in it, because it has a lot to do with the fact that a man can still be a man and perform his duties, but at the same time, that don't mean his heart is there. Okay, so I remember that was one perception that he gave me. But I believe another reason is some men do choose to go ghost because they can't tell a woman that they're leaving. Because some women will go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I'm not saying that's how you are, Miss Green, or any woman for that matter. But some women do not make it easy for a man to leave them gracefully. Okay. Some women will blow up, will go hysterical, because women, we are emotional human beings. And some men don't want to deal with the hassle of us getting emotional on them, having a nervous breakdown on them, and just manipulating them into staying, because sometimes when a woman knows she's losing, or she's in a situation where she can't get that man to change his mind and he's done, she's going to come up with everything under the sun to make him feel guilty for wanting to leave her. She may say, well, we got these kids. I've been with you all these years. I helped you start this business, blah, 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 because, that's what we do. When we feel like we're on the losing end, we will say or do whatever we can to try to convince a man that to convince our companion who wants to leave us, all of these reasons as to why they need to stay. And see, a lot of men do not want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with your emotional withdrawals, because that's what's going to happen. And it's not too many women in this chat room. I'll tell on myself. No, my husband can't come to me and say, look, relationship is over, I can't do it. And I'm not going to give him a difficult time. I'm going to know why. You got to explain to me all of the elements. And a lot of the men, they don't want to go through the hassle of that. They don't want to go through your emotional drama. They do not want to go through your emotional roller coaster, because as many times as women, we want men to be honest with us and say, if you didn't want the relationship, why couldn't you just tell me? Why couldn't you just tell me? Knowing good damn well, if a man was to sit up there and say, I don't want this relationship, we gonna go ham. We never make it easy for a man to tell us they don't want us, and we just gracefully be like, oh, okay, well, I appreciate it. I mean, thank you for your honesty. It's not, women, we don't make it easy for a man to just tell us and be honest with us that they don't want the relationship anymore, because we go into an emotional wreck. We go into an emotional wreck. Okay, so some men, now am I saying this right? No, it ain't right. It's not right. But it's kind of like, if it's like dealing with anybody. If you're dealing with a person that's confrontational, one thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be honest with a confrontational ass person. Okay? I don't care how much, and you know what kills me, y'all? Those be the main people that be like, all you gotta do is keep it real. All you gotta do is keep it real. All you gotta do is help me. All you gotta do is keep it real with me. People, you can't keep it real with everybody. People tell you that, but the moment you keep it real and say, look, you suck in bed, I can't stand your mouth, I can't stand being around you, ain't nobody gonna sit there and be like, oh, okay, well, you know what, you right, I'm gonna work on that. Come on, let's be for real. Let's be honest. What woman in her right mind? And I want one of these. I want any of my homegirls in here to lie and say, if your man tell you he don't want to be with you, you just gonna take it gracefully and be like, oh, okay, baby. Well, you know what? Okay. I appreciate the fact that you told me. Come on now. Oh boy. Let's be for real. That's why some men, they just leave, because they're not going to want to deal with that emotional backlash. Because women, y'all know we good for that. We're not just going to sit there and a man going to tell us, I don't want to be with you. Is you serious? I done had all your kids, and I worked at Walgreens while you was going to college and blah, blah, blah. Women, we not about to just let stuff go like that. Samuel says, and if I'm missing some of y'all chats, I'm missing some of y'all comments, I'm not doing it on purpose. Just that I'm trying not to lose my train of thought. And when I'm in the middle of chatting and I stop and pause and look at something that throws me off. So I apologize if I'm missing your chat room, if I'm missing your comments. I'm not doing it intentionally. Yeah, Rollo, women, we can't take no for an answer. You damn Skippy. Samuel says, I was in a similar situation. I mean, we argued with her, and it got to the point to where I just had to be a man and told her that is not working. I ain't gonna lie. It was very hard. I bet it was. I bet it was, especially if you really care for that woman. It's not easy telling anybody you love that is just you. It's over. Because ending a relationship is almost like it's almost like a death in a sense. Not to that extreme, but it's the ending of something, especially when a lot of time has been invested, a lot of years, and a lot of feelings. I could only imagine, Samuel, it wasn't easy. I mean, I thank you. I thank you for admitting that. So for all the ladies in the chat room, Samuel just said, as a man, it wasn't easy for him to tell her that. So just keep in mind, ladies, that when sometimes men, they have a hard time with ending a relationship just like we do. They don't get off, telling us they don't want the relationship, but I just think, so really men got feelings too. That's basically what I want all the women in this chat room to understand. They don't want to let go. They hate to end it just as bad as we want to be told that is being ended. It is just as difficult for them as it is for us. So at the end of the day, men have feelings too. They have feelings too, So I know it was hard for him because, especially a man, when you done been with your woman for a long time, she's overly emotional. She doesn't take rejection well. I could imagine how Samuel had to get up the nerve to tell her that, because I'm sure it wasn't easy. Because women, we're not compliant to getting our heart broke. Let's keep it 100. So I'm sure that was a very difficult thing, but I'm glad. What I do respect about that is that at least he was honest and told her then to stay with her, and he would have made her miserable and made himself miserable. That's the purpose of me doing this video, ladies and gentlemen, because it's a lot of relationships that on life support. It's a lot of miserable men and women that are under the same roof, and they can't stand even being around each other. And let me speak on me. I feel you, Steve Austin. Let me see. If you take, I have no problem leaving. Deep brother said, if she take, I have no problem leaving. Okay, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, hey, I understand. So to answer your question, Miss Green, I really think that, and I don't think that's cool. I'm glad that some men, like Samuel stated, he did tell her. But some men, they don't do that. You come home one day and find his lazy boy seat gone, all his clothes gone, all his Michael Jordans up under the bed is gone, and he don't prepare you and tell you nothing because, some men, they don't want to deal with the emotional backlash of having to reject us. And then you have others who are just straight cowards. They're not going to be man enough to face you and tell you, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want the relationship. So they're going, run away from dealing with it because they don't want to deal with the confrontation. Is what I use when a woman loses my respect. And I want to send her the message that I'm doing because well, okay, freelance. Thank you for that input. Freelance has basically he's saying in his case when he becomes silent and he walks away from a woman, it's basically because he lost respect for her. And at that point, and that's true, some people, they have lost so much respect, and depending on the amount of damage that has been done, it comes a point when you don't even want to give a person an explanation no more. And I feel you, freelance, because not even in relationships, even in friendships, which I know this is totally off the topic, but some people been so dramafying, you don't even want to tell them nothing. Some things you just got to leave it dead where it's at, because some people it's not even worth confronting and giving an explanation, because they're going to lie, or they're going to play the victim, or they're going to try to make you feel bad, like they don't understand why you giving up on them. So that's actually a true point, freelance. Thank you, Anthony Dunlap, for the donation. Thank you. I appreciate it dearly. I appreciate it, Anthony. Thanks for the donation. Thank you. Yeah, some people ain't worth the confrontation, because let's face it, everybody, you can't tell them it's over. And you have some men that are like that. Some people you cannot tell them, I don't want to be with you no more. And there's been some cases in which some women couldn't even tell a man that she was leaving him because the man was so physically and verbally abusive, to the point to where they knew, had they tried to warn that man, prepare that man that they was leaving, this man would beat her ass. It's been some women who have feared telling a man, I'm leaving you, because she knew that man would kill him. Because you got some men out there that's just really emotionally out of whack too. You got some narcissists, just like you got some women that are overly emotional. You got some men that are straight narcissists. And you got some men that are very controlling. You have some men that are very controlling to the point that they don't even want the woman, but they don't want her leaving him, because that's like she's the one controlling the situation. And he's not having that. So it go both ways. You got some men out there that's difficult to leave too now. What's up, Shaquita Stokes? Thank you for stopping on in to Cafe de Paris. I appreciate it. Now I just want to reach you just on what absolute forward to the side and break down why it's over. Okay, freelance. So it really depends on the person as to if you feel like you can talk to that person, or if you know that person is going to be confrontational, then you just not going to deal with it. I get it, because that's how I am. I'm a play it by ear person. If I feel like you're the kind of person I can reason with you, I can talk to you, then yeah, I'll let you know this is not working for me. We got to go our separate ways. But if I know you crazy, why would you prepare a crazy person that you're going to leave them? Who does that? You're not going to prepare an abusive, narcissist, controlling, overly emotional man or woman. You can't prepare them for the fact that you're leaving. You can't do that, because they are going to pull all kind of tricks out the hat for you to not leave them. So some people you can't warn. Some people it's just like that. I hate that it's like that, but some people you can't give them a warning. You have to leave. To play our respect for our family. Definitely, Steve. Like I said, some people you cannot prepare them. Some people you got to go ghost. So everybody don't take rejection easily. I know one thing: if you crazy, I'm not preparing you. I'm not telling you nothing. Not so you can try to poison me or do something to me before I leave. I mean, I get it. Everybody who's just coming in, for those who don't know what's on today's menu, I'm talking about I'm basically giving you the signs of knowing when your relationship is on life support. Because again, it's a lot of people in unhealthy relationships. It's a lot of people that are in dead relationships and trying to give life and trying to resuscitate relationships that should have been over a long time ago. And I get it. It's a saying that love is blind, and it's the truth. Some people are so blinded by their emotions, they could see the signs, and yet they will still keep sitting up there lying to themselves and thinking that nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. The relationship is going okay. The bills are getting paid. The kids are doing fine. I mean, the mortgage is paid up on time. We got money in the bank account. That has nothing to do with the fact that there's no more emotional connection. You're not emotionally connecting. You're not mentally connecting. That is where the relationship has lost its life to it. Now, this is the next sign that I'm going to give you guys. What's up, SW? Thank you for chiming on in and hanging out with me. Letting all of you know who are in the chat room. You definitely got lucky today, because when I'm done with this chat, I'm going to shut it down and I'm gonna put it on Patreon. So basically everybody who's in here, you're getting to view the chat without having to pay the $3 for it. So basically you're getting a free deal today. Okay. So just thought I'd put that out there or whatever. But regardless, thank all of you for stopping on in and hanging out with me. Now this is the third sign that your relationship is on life support. All of a sudden, people who are connected to your companion start treating you different. Now, this is something you got to be cautious of. If you in a relationship with a man or a woman and you notice that their friends or your in-laws or their family is treating you different, and they're kind of like, handling you in a disrespectful manner, 9 times out of 10, your relationship is on life support. Because basically what's going on is they have already verbalized to other people around you that they have verbalized to other people about you. Excuse me. They have already verbalized to other people that they really don't care for the relationship. They're really tired of it. They're trying to find a way out. So that's another sign. If the family is treating you different, or if the friends are treating you different, that's a strong indication, especially if they've always been cool with you, if they've always kind of been all right with you, and you starting to notice they distancing themselves or they acting funny. 9 times out of 10, your companion, your man or your woman is expressing to them how they really feel about you. So that's another thing you have to look at. Hey, what's up, AK? What's up, boo? This is one of my regulars too. This is my girl. This is what that's she's one of my ace boom coons. She been with me since my first video and has never left my corner since. So big ups to AK Styles. What's good with you, boo? I'm glad you was able to make it on in. Yeah, I appreciate all of my day ones and all of my new subscribers that are just coming on board. I welcome all of you. Don't matter if you've been with me from day one or you just now getting here. Thank all of you. Thanks again, Anthony, for another donation. Appreciate it. Thank you. Night of the Wind. Thank you for your donation as well. I really appreciate it. Thank all of you. What's up, Hershey Kiss? This is another one of my regular church members. She's never late for church. Hershey Kiss is never late. Hershey Kiss is one of those church members that be sitting to the front every time before the pastor even get there. Oh, goodness. Hershey Kiss is never late. She be the first one at the pulpit. Thank you. What's up? What's good? I'm glad y'all was able to make it on in. All is well. Talking about giving life to these basically I'm giving you the signs of when knowing that your relationship is on life support. It's a lot of grown men and grown women that are in dead relationships. It's been over long time ago, but you keep lying to yourself, making yourself believe that it's going to get better, making yourself believe, and some of you men too. A lot of you men have women in your lives that is holding you back. She's not helping you grow. She's not helping you to be a better person or whatever, same thing, man and women. This is not a message just for women or it's for you guys as well. Because I know a lot of good guys that are in relationships with women that are not women material. If anything, she's holding you back. She's not helping you to elevate. If anything, she's stressing you the hell out. She's stressing you. She bringing all kind of chaos to you because you men, y'all go through it just like us. Ain't no exception to the rules for y'all. Y'all go through it. If not, in some cases, probably more. Thanks, AK, for the donation. Thanks again, Anthony, for your third donation. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Shaquita has a question. How do you deal with unsupportive and disrespectful immediate family? Okay, is this not the pride? But when you say immediate family, is this your family or your companion family? Because I wanna make sure I'm clear on what you're asking me or whatever. So yeah, just kind of reiterate on that for me. I need to know that if that's your family or if this your companion family. I'll be glad to answer that question for you. Oh yeah, definitely. Honestly, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, okay, your family. Okay, I've spoken on this a couple of times on a couple of my videos. When it comes to family, I've learned that in many cases, even myself, some people you have to love from a distance, because I can't speak for everybody else in this chat room, but for myself personally, I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect my peace. I got to protect my peace and I have to protect my sanity. And whoever I have to get rid of to do that, I don't care if you family. I don't care if you my homegirl from back in preschool. The moment you are stressing me out, I would not entertain you. I would not be in your presence. It got nothing to do with love. It got nothing to do with blood. I have to preserve my peace. My peace is precious to me. I'm not going to let anybody sabotage that or destroy that, because guess what? The day that God decides to call me home, none of these people that's stressing me out is coming with me. That's going to be my own personal day. Do you feel me? You did nothing. For anybody that's in this chat room that's going through something with family, with friends, if that person is stressing you out, you better get rid of them quick and fast. And you don't even have to be nasty about it. You don't even have to tell them, I'm done with you, I'm moving on with my life. Some things are better left unsaid. Some things we getting too grown to explain to other grown people what the hell they be doing wrong. 9 times out of 10, people know just what the hell they be doing to you. People just are going to go as far as you allow them to go. Some people like trying you. Some people like testing your patience. Some people like making you miserable because they're miserable within their own right. And even though it hurts, let me tell you something. I would rather hurt not dealing with you than to hurt and deal with you. Because either way, it's going to hurt. But let me deal with the hurt to where I'm distancing myself. I'd rather deal with that kind of hurt than to be up close and personal and you blatantly disrespect me in my face, in my presence. You insulting my intelligence. I've had to let go of a lot of very important people to me in my life because, like I said, nobody's not going to protect your peace like you're going to protect your peace. You have to protect you. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you have to be selfish. You have to be. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. There's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong with not pleasing people. Because at the end of the day, the people you breaking your neck for, the one time you can't come through, even though you done came through 300 times, the one time you don't come through, the one time you disappoint them, they let them tell it, you ain't never did nothing. You ain't never did nothing. You could have did something 400 times. Don't come through one time and they will drag your name through the mud. They'll forget about all the other 632 times you was there. My father told me one time, he said, I never forget somebody, I gave somebody some money and I gave them money that I was looking for back because I was depending on that money. And the person didn't pay me back. And that's what my father told me. He said, never give more than what you could afford to lose. And that's not just with money. That's with your time. If you're looking for it back, don't give it to them. These days, when you do anything for anybody, you have to look at it like a favor. Don't even look for something in return, because the moment you look for something back and you don't get it back and you don't get back that same gratitude that you gave them, you're going to get hurt behind it. So you got to be careful how much of you that you give to other people. Be careful how much of you put out there, because people don't have a problem sucking you dry. People don't have a problem pimping you. And the same people who pimp you, they'll go around and talk about you. You know, and the thing about it is, don't be upset sometimes when it's your turn to be in need and that person don't come through. Don't get upset about it, because the thing is, sometimes God knows what's best. Sometimes God will intentionally allow people to turn you down because he knows their reasons for giving wasn't genuine. Everybody don't give from the heart. Everybody don't do from the heart. Everybody favor ain't a favor. Some people do for you just so they can throw it up in your face later when you piss them off. Some people do for you so they can go back and tell other people how they had to help you. So you just have to be very careful. Let's see. Yeah, with my ex. You get you when it comes to family, family will burn you quicker than a stranger. And the reason why it's worse for family, the reason why I'm gonna tell you why it's worse, because see, family knows your combination. They know you in and out. They know what makes you happy. They know what pushes your buttons. Your family knows your personal issues, because as family, we do know things about each other. That's what makes it worse. Basically, I'm saying family got more ammunition to destroy you. They got more chambers in their bullets compared to an enemy. An enemy don't, or somebody from a distance don't know as much about you compared to a family. So family has more that they can use to their advantage against you to hurt you and to harm you. So basically, once a person shows me their left hand, I don't stick around and wait to see your right hand. I don't care if you mama, I don't care if you daddy, I don't care who you are. Until you come correct, until you can genuinely apologize, and not only apologize, have actions behind your apology, then I will cut you off without a problem. Because to me, I have to keep my peace. I have another thing. I have another things going on in my life. I'm not going to allow another grown person to add any more stress on to what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? No, because the thing about it is the people you be stressing over, they don't be stressing over you like that. The things that they have done to you, you'll still be angry or upset about it. And guess what? They could come around you the next day like nothing ain't never happened. Because people who are so used to defeating you, after a while, they have no, it's almost like they don't have no more of a conscience as to how they treat you. It's sad, but some people could get so used to doing you in, it becomes normal to them till they don't even see nothing wrong with it after a while. Never let people become comfortable with mistreating you. And sometimes we create that monster. Sometimes we create our own monsters. When you sit back and you allow people to have their way too long, too many times, now you want to put your foot down. That's like trying to damn jump in front of a freight train. The freight train is already going 80 miles per hour. Now you want to jump in front of the train and make it stop. Some people, you cannot wait for them to do you right. Some people you have to completely walk away from, because sometimes we let people get too comfortable with disrespecting us. And then when we're ready to put our foot down, they don't know how to receive it. And my thing is, once a person has gotten used to disrespecting me and I know I can't reverse it, the only thing I can do is leave the situation. And that goes for family. Now, with family, I know you still gonna run into that person. You're gonna run into them at cookouts. You're gonna run into them at family gatherings. My thing is, don't be nasty. Don't be nasty, but don't be welcoming either. Because the reason why I don't want you to be nasty, because that's letting that person know that what they has done to you has affected you. Even if it has affected you, you don't never give anybody that power to let them know what they has done to you has affected you. So if you're being nasty and you're not talking to them because of something they did, that's letting them know, okay, I got her where I want her. I got her mad. I got upset. No, you can still, my thing is, don't at the same time, don't be a kiss ass either. You don't want to be fake like, oh, hey, boo, hey, girl. Basically, it's like a job interview. Meaning you ain't being a bitch, but you ain't being a kiss ass at the same time. You just being mutual. When you see that person, hey, cuz, what's up, cuz? Or what's up, sis, what's up, brother? Oh, all is good. I'm good. That's it. Short sentences, short phrases. You don't have to be nasty. You ain't got to hold no long, drawn out conversation. My thing is, you will get my vibe based on my actions. Based on my actions, you wouldn't know I'm done with you without me even telling you. I'm not going to tell you I'm done. My actions going to speak for itself. When you see I'm not coming around you, I'm not, hey girl, and high five and all that. No, when I see you, I speak, I keep going. I don't care if we're in the same house. I don't care if we're in the same house. I'm not going to sit in the same living room with your ass. I'm going to sit in the kitchen. Because that's just how much you going to know I'm not feeling you like that. And again, it's not about proving a point. It's about preserving your peace. That is what I want everybody to understand. It's not about proving points. You got to preserve your peace. That's what it boils down to. Let me try. I had a brother-in-law like that. He called me barking and being disrespectful, lit into him like Clumber. But oh, that happened with a brother. I'm telling you, freelance, them in-laws is something else. I'm telling you, them in-laws is a trip from honest experience, boy. You talking about backstabbers. You talking about some crab asses. Them in-laws ain't no joke. Them jokers there. I'm telling you, your man, your woman could come around them and them jokers won't say a word. Them in-laws is hell, boy. Them in-laws gonna stick by their kind. I don't care what they do, and they ain't gonna say a word to you about it. and still will invite you to their house for potato salad like they ain't just seen your husband bring your side chick over there. Child, bye. Oh goodness, you made him cry, freelance. Damn, you must have really lit in his behind. Well, it was well deserved. If he was doing what he was doing, he deserved it. Sometimes there come a point when you have to put your point across. That's why it's very important that before you go in on anybody, you pray about it. You pray and seek God's counsel. You pray about it and see if it's worth confronting. If it's worth confronting, then confront it. If not, then don't confront it. Me personally, I've gotten more peace out of not saying a goddamn thing because I don't even want that person having that advantage of knowing what's on my mind. Because in your case, freelance, it worked for you. It made him see where he was coming from. But some people are so evil and so wicked that whatever little bit, when you express your feelings to them, they use it against you. Instead of them using how you feel to try to better the situation, instead of them sympathizing and understanding and say, well, I apologize that I went wrong. I did this, I did that. Some people, once you lay your feelings out on the line, they use it against you. They use it they use it to stroke their own ego. You know what I mean? So in your case, it worked out in your favor. But in some cases, sometimes when you let a person know how you feel, they don't learn. They if anything, they use it against you. So it's one of them situations you kind of take with a grain of salt or whatever. But basically, let's see, because I almost had my love thing here. But basically, Shaquita, you gonna have to learn to love from a distance. Preserve your peace, hun. At the end of the day, you got to preserve your peace. I don't care if it's mama, daddy, brother, sister. Don't take no. You cannot use blood and family as an excuse to tolerate all type of disrespect. Because even family, like I said, hell, snakes eat each other too. Snakes eat each other. and they all the same family. Snakes ain't got a problem eating each other too. Um, Now you know what? That's my part. Learn not to go off like that. It takes training. For some people, some people their way of dealing is by putting a person in their place, like what freelance did. And then in cases like me, I'm the kind of person, I'm silent. I sit back and watch that person hang themselves. I get more enjoyment because to me, I don't even want nobody knowing what's on my mind. I'm not expressing to you how I feel about what you did because you may use that against me. And I just really don't, that's just my style. Now, has there been cases when I went off? Yes. I have had, in some cases, I've had to go off. But for me, I've learned personally, I've gotten more results by sitting back and watching that person hang themselves. That's what has always worked for me. But everybody's different. Even meddling in my family too much and the parents a little too much in the parents. I mean, I don't say for comfortable. Oh, okay, freelance. Yeah. Something like that. I think I would have had to confront. Yeah. I think I would have had to confront that. Okay, I understand. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Some things are worth addressing and some things are not worth addressing. So it's all about discretion. In some cases, you got to confront a person, you got to put a person in their place. So I get it, I totally get it. But when it comes to family, you don't allow because they family to tolerate all kind of disrespect or whatever. So, like Don, yeah, you just got to play it by ear. It's all about discretion. Some things you got to nip in the bud, and then some things be like, you know what? I'm gonna let her ass have that. I'm gonna let this jackass think she know what she doing, or let him think he know what he doing, and I'm gonna sit back and just let him make an ass out of himself. Sometimes you sit back and that person get overly confident, and eventually they mess up. So either or, either way, they both work. Um, yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, family. Like I said, family. You a lot of them you have to learn to love from a distance. I'm in a situation now where I've had to learn to love many of them from a distance, because I'm the kind of person, I don't like being fake. Once I know you have done me in or you've done something shady, I'm not going to sit around you. I'm not going to sit to the dinner table with you. Don't try to invite me to no functions and try to like hold a conversation with me. I hate fakeness with a passion. I'm going through that now. It's actually somebody, in family, and I won't say any names because I may have family who view my damn chats and stuff. But I've just seen so much fakeness from this particular individual. And the fact that when I come in her presence, she tries to hold a conversation with me. She tries to talk nice to me. And it just makes me break out of hives. Like, I got allergies. I just can't stand fake people. I just, I don't like stuff like that. Once you have decided you want to deal with an individual who I don't deal with, I don't like stuff like that. And this is not to say that I'm petty, because my thing is, it's kind of like this. For example, I'll use AK Styles, that's in the chat room. Let's say me and AK, we homegirls, which we are. We friends or whatever. We hang out, okay? And she knows I don't like Dawn. I'm just using examples now. I like everybody in here, okay? I'm just using examples. Say me and AK like that, and me and Dawn is beefing, okay? I don't care if AK talks or hangs with Dawn. Put this way, I don't care if she associates with Dawn. My thing is, you don't need to display, she don't need to be telling Dawn what me and her talk about. That's my problem. Because I'm not in the business of being kindergarten. Oh, well, you got to be friends with who I'm friends with and all of that. To me, that's just kind of petty. Okay, no problem, freelance. Thank you. I'll see you next time. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping in. And my thing is, I don't care if AK is cool with Dawn, but when me and AK, me and AK got our own relationship. I'm sharing personal stuff with her because we're supposed to be girls, and you passing out information on the Dawn, and me and her ain't buddies. I got a problem with that. I don't like a straddle the fence bitch. I don't like broads who straddle the fence. And the moment you show me you straddle the fence, I'm gonna take the goddamn fence down for you. I'm gonna just remove the goddamn fence. You're not gonna straddle the fence with me. I'm just gonna shut down. I'm gonna remove the fence. So that way you ain't got no choice but to stay on that side. You're not gonna be coming back and forth and playing with me. Then AK get mad with Dawn. Now she want to come over here and hang out. No, no, ma'am. No, that's high school, that's childish. I'm not playing that game. I'm not, you're not about to go back and forth and flip the script and it's sad, but you got some childish grown women who be doing stuff like that, who have not grown up, who haven't learned anything. Yeah, exactly, Dawn. I'm not with none of that. Yeah, but that's what you need to do, Shaquita. Just preserve your peace, hon. Don't let nobody get you to the point. If you getting stressed out, it means you need to switch gears. Love them, talk to them, but from a distance. That's all you can do with that. It's just deal, because family, you got to deal with family either way it go. But that don't mean you have to tolerate and take all kind of nonsense off of them. Okay, no problem. Wake the hell up. We always chat. I'll see you again or whatever. I'm gonna have to holler at you too about my Patreon account. I sent you an email. So just whenever you get a chance, just hit me up, Rollo. You know my email and stuff. I'm gonna get to the other side as to basically How you know when your relationship is on life support. The other issue, this is when you know your relationship is on life support. Oh, okay, crazy people call me. When your partner is always defending other people, that's a big sign. When when your companion believes what other people say more than you, now you know your relationship is on life support because your words should hold more value. Your words should hold more value. If you got a man or a woman who's up here believing what other people say over you, and they trust what other people say more than they trust coming from you, you don't want that kind of companion in your life because there's going to always be outsiders, that's going to approach him, going to approach her. Well, I heard this, why I said that. And if your partner is coming home to you and screaming on you, well, somebody told me they seen you doing this and they seen you doing that, and you done explain to him or her that it's not like that, and they believe in what somebody else say, then that relationship is a recipe for disaster because no companion, unless they got valid proof, they just going on hearsay. If somebody's word today, my husband makes somebody else's word more valuable than mine, then you know what? We're gonna have to make some other arrangements because you shouldn't be coming to me and telling me something, and the moment I give you my explanation, it ain't good enough. Somebody else could convince you more than you hearing it from me personally. That's not a good look. Let me see, person, or not, even if it's the other way around. If you go to your partner and you tell them your sister did this, or your brother did that, or your homeboy did that, and they automatically defend them and say they ain't like that, or they don't do this and they don't do that, that's a problem. Because as your companion, if I'm coming to you and telling you what somebody's doing to me, and you automatically still want to defend them, and what I'm saying is irrelevant, is because basically you displaying that my feelings don't matter. If your partner, if your companion is unwilling to see things from your perspective and support you, it's a recipe for disaster. You don't want that, because the problem is what's going to happen is once other people get hip to the fact that your companion believes what other people say, they're going to keep taunting them, and it's going to make problems for you. It's going to make it's going to make problems for you. That's like like I said, I'm just using some people. Let's say if Don is going with Samuel, okay, and I confront Don confronts Sam and tells him, his mama said something out of pocket, or his brother said something out of pocket. He automatically defends his brother and say, well, I think you just taking it the wrong way. He ain't really like that. How the hell you know he like? How do you know what he's like with me? Even if he is like that, I'm telling you how I felt. That's telling you right there, your relationship won't last very long, because you can't keep defending yourself for with somebody who automatically puts you at fault. If they automatically put you at fault, brother, if you coming to them about somebody, or somebody coming to them about you, it's a recipe for disaster. Your relationship is basically on life support. No, your partner should never take somebody else's word over yours. And now, unless you gave them reason now. And I'm not saying this is the case with anybody in the chat room. If you've been out there and there's trust issues and you done stepped out on your partner before, or in some cases, hell, you probably ain't even did nothing wrong. Your partner was the one who cheated on you. And it's sad, but sometimes your partner can cheat on you and still make you feel guilty in an event they hear something about you. That is crazy, but sometimes that happens. You could be the faithful person in a relationship, and your companion is the individual who stepped out there on you, and they trying to make you feel guilty about stuff that they've been doing the whole time. Somebody come up to them with one little assumption, they running with it, when the whole time you got a book of facts about all the dirt they done did. But the one time they just hear something about you, they're ready to fly off the handle. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people, Hershey. That happens to a lot of people, and that comes from guilt. And sometimes that's the chance you take. Sometimes when you forgive somebody, everybody does not consider forgiveness as a blessing. You know, sometimes when you stay with somebody and you decide to work things out, you know, even though that person may have wronged you or violated you or disappointed you, and you think, you know, that's making you the bigger man or make you the bigger woman, sometimes people will use that against your own companion, can use that against you, turn around and they'll be the ones accusing you of stuff. And they were the ones that was out there all the time. And all that is reverse psychology. It's nothing but another version of manipulation. Because what I've learned is that, yeah, you can forgive, but never forget. What I've learned, anybody that's in a situation like that, I'm going to tell you why folks do that. If you're in a situation, man or woman, okay, and you decide to stay with somebody who disrespected you, because there's more than one way to disrespect somebody other than cheating now. Okay, let's not just count cheating as a way of disrespecting, because people just want to look at cheating. Okay, in an event you decide to stay with somebody, and for whatever reason they was the one that wronged you, and now they want to flip the script on you, and now they trying to accuse you of stuff, or they trying to that reverse psychology. Basically what that is they know they were the ones who did the most amount of damage. So now what has happened is, now that they have put themselves in a position of constantly being worried about you doing basically about you doing to them what they have done to you. Some people don't want you, some people don't want you to pull a you on them. That's basically what it boils down to. Okay, sometimes when you stay with a person who has wronged you, what happens is, instead of them being appreciative and grateful that you still decided to stand by them despite all of what they're taking you through, what it does, it makes them paranoid. It makes them wonder if you're going to do the same thing to them that they did to you. Because believe it or not, most people that inflict damage can rarely ever handle damage being inflicted on them. If that makes any sense to y'all. In other words, it's a lot of people who out there who could dish shit, but they can't take it. They can dish it, but they can't take it. And it's crazy, but that's how it operates. Now, because you staying with me after I done did you wrong, after I done humiliated you, now I'm worried that any day you can come back on me and do it to me. And like Samuel said, that's their karma. And that's the thing about it. When you do something wrong to somebody, now you got to watch your back, because you know now it could always be done to you. That excuse me, that's what it boils down to. I done did somebody else in. Now I got to worry about, are they gonna do me in back? That's the curse you bring upon yourself. That's the karma you bring upon yourself. You do somebody else in, now you got to watch your back. Now you got to worry about, are they gonna get me back? Are they gonna hurt me the way I hurt them? Are they gonna retaliate? It's your own dirt makes you paranoid. It amazes me that people who are so goddamn dirty be so paranoid. But like the Bible says, the troublesome man will be suspicious of everyone. And that's the God's honest truth. It's always the ones who's done the most dirt that's so goddamn paranoid and insecure. Y'all ever notice that? The ones who done really did all kind of dirty and grimy stuff, them be the main ones. So worried about somebody doing them in. It never fails. They could dish it out, but they can't take it. You know, but that was the point I just brought up. You don't want a partner that defends other people more than they defend you. That's not a good look. Another sign is that your relationship is on life support, your companion doesn't include you in their future plans. If you got somebody that's up there constantly, if your man or your woman is up there constantly talking about, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna buy a home and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna purchase some land and I'm gonna do this, and they never include your name in on none of their plans, that's not a good sign. If anything, they should be saying we, us, ours. If it's I'ma do, I'm gonna get, I'm a so and so, you're nowhere in it, in their plans, that's not a good sign. Let me see. Not only that, in future plans, little things like if you're in a relationship and you can't get that person to plan past 48 hours, it's a sign that they're not invested in the long haul. Last minute dates, spontaneous activities, they want to tell you about at the last minute so you can't go. She said, do you love me? Knowing your schedule is tight, intentionally just imposing and making plans, that's something that's not a good look right there. You know, they're not including you, that, you know, other signs, you know, they're not you know, including you in activities, like they going out with their friends and they never invite you, going out with their family and never invite you. Now I understand there's going to be some cases where your companion is not going to invite you. Like, of course, if he's with all his homeboys, he's not going to invite you. Or if she's with all her homegirls, if it's an all ladies event, that's a different thing. But every time you turn around, he's with his family, with his friend. He don't never want to bring you nowhere. She never wants to bring you nowhere. That's not a good sign. If your mate is constantly excluding you out of, you know, just basic things, going to a barbecue, going to cook out with your family, they won't even invite you to things that simple, that's not a good look, you know. Other signs that your relationship is on life support, when they make everything about them. Basically, your partner is basically calling all the shots. You don't have a voice. You don't have a voice. They decide everything. They decide where y'all going to live. They decide how much money is going to be spent. They making all the decisions. You don't have a say so in anything. Everything, or whatever plans they make, whatever they do, whatever plans they make is to help them with something. It's never about you. Basically, if their dates and their time spent together is always focused on what they want to do, basically they are less interested in you and more interested in always having someone available to tag along. That's just something that you have to really you know, keep in mind. If they always making everything about them, that's not good. You know, that basically your relationship is on life support. When that person doesn't communicate properly is another sign. Lack of communication will cause issues in all areas of a relationship. um if they're not willing to share what is causing their mood swings, their mood changes, you're not given an opportunity to correct any issues you may have caused. This creates insecurities that you're the root of all issues, even if the moodiness is due to stress from school, work, or something else in their life. Communication is everything. And the worst thing is having a partner who would not open up to you, who can open up to everybody else about what's going on, but they can't even open up to you. And y'all are the ones that are in a relationship together. They don't tell you they're having a bad day. They don't tell you they're going through certain things. They don't tell you the issues they got on their job. If you got a partner who's not opening up to you at all, basically uh they don't care enough about the relationship to let you know what they're going through so you can help them. Because part of having a relationship is communicating. If that person voices to you the things that they're going through, that is your opportunity to embrace them and help them walk through it. If they're not letting you in, it's because they really don't consider the relationship as a relationship. Because I should be able to go to my husband, or he should be able to come to me when there's an issue, there's a problem. The moment he's blocking me out of everything, and the moment I'm blocking him out of stuff, that's not a good sign. because that's a problem with a lot of relationships. You will be surprised. A lot of grown men and grown women do not know how to sit down and have a conversation without arguing, without cussing, with one always wanting to get their point across, with one over talking the other, with one getting loud, with one getting obnoxious. On the moment I don't say something you like, you walking away from me in the middle of the conversation and you leaving. You have grown people who have got all these college degrees and don't know how to communicate. Know how to, when it comes to these jobs, they know how to communicate with their boss, they know how to communicate with their manager, they know how to communicate with their coworker. How is it you can communicate with everybody outside of your relationship but your own goddamn companion? That is not a good sign. You're supposed to be able to communicate. I'm not saying that you're going to agree. It's normal not to agree. You're not going to be on the same page. But when it gets to the point to where we're not communicating at all, your relationship is doomed. It's just straight doomed. By the way, I also appreciate the thumbs up, everybody. If y'all don't mind getting those thumbs up for me, I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Another sign that your relationship is on life support is if you're constantly trying to change your partner or your partner trying to change you. That's not a good sign. It's important to help each other grow, but if you're constantly trying to make each other into different people, then maybe it's a sign that you're not right for one another in the first place. However, there shouldn't be parts of their personality you feel like you have to pretend don't exist in order for you to continue dating them. It's a difference. This is what a lot of people have to understand. Let me hold that thought. This girl I was talking to used to have bad dreams about us, and I would always ask her about the dream, but she would never tell me, and I understand now. Wow, that's something, Williams. It's a lot of relationships that are like that though. This is what people have to understand. I really want to go into this thing when it comes to change, because I know many of you have said that many of us got this perception when it comes to a relationship. A person should love you for who you are. And if a person really loves you, they're not going to change you into being something that you shouldn't be. I want to go into this on this particular one because a lot of people get this misconstrued, okay? Because in some cases, you do have to change. If you are in a relationship, there's no such thing as a person got to accept you to where you are. Take it or leave it, because we all have to make changes. What I mean by that is, if before you got with this person and you was a man that stayed in the streets 2, 3, 4 in the morning before you got in a relationship, because that was your lifestyle as a bachelor before you got in a relationship. Now you're in a relationship with this woman. She's not going to feel comfortable with you being out 3, 4 in the morning. Same thing with you as a woman. If you've always hung out with your homegirls every weekend, y'all go to the club, y'all go to the sports bar every weekend. Now you're in a relationship. Your man ain't going to feel comfortable with you being with your homegirls every weekend. Once you are in a relationship, certain things have to change. There is no as-is warranty. Take it or leave it. It don't work like that. In a relationship, you cannot conduct yourself the same way you used to conduct yourself when you were single. That's the problem with a lot of people. That's why a lot of relationships don't last, because we have a lot of people that are in relationships still acting like they're single. You want relationship benefits, but you want single person privileges. You can't have both. It don't work that way. What's up, Trax Wanson? Thank you for coming in. We're talking about relationships that on life support. I'm breaking down all the signs and the elements that is on today's menu. So I want to thank you for coming in. Even though you are late as hell to my goddamn ministry, we done already collected tithes, the choir done already sang, and you are late to my ministry. What is your excuse, Mr. Trax Wanson? You are late to church. What is your excuse? And you meant to come in late because you know that collection plate had already been put up. Okay. You just got off of work. Okay, I'll chew you out next time then. Okay, I get it. I got you. You know I got to mess with you, Trax Wanson. He's one of my regular ministry members, y'all. Usually Trax Wanson is usually always on time in ministry, but He had to work today, so we gonna give him a pass because he had to work. So it's all good, Trax Winston. Yeah, we're gonna have to send that plate back round. Yes, sir. Um, yeah, Samuel, you have to compromise. People have this attitude where I don't need to change who I am. When you're in a relationship, there's certain things you do have to change. If you have that mindset, then no, you don't need to be in a relationship. If you are comfortable being the way you are, you don't feel like you got to change nothing, then you do not need to get in a relationship. You don't. Because in a relationship, you're supposed to change, because basically you have to do what makes your companion comfortable with you. And so it's difference between changing a person and grooming a person. In a relationship, you're going to groom each other. Okay, that comes with growth. That's how you help each other grow. It's all about grooming. You groom your woman, you groom your man, and it being better. Meaning that you're not trying to change everything. You're not trying to change their identity. Uh if for instance, if your companion has always been vegan and you eat meat, okay, now that y'all together, you trying to convert him to change his vegan lifestyle into eating meat. That's not cool, because you knew that was always his custom before he got with you. Okay, now if your companion is not the best dresser, he wears anything, anywhere, and you a woman, you like to dress nice, and you see your old man, he likes to dress like he lives in a homeless shelter, then there's nothing wrong with grooming him. Meaning you're just trying to help him groom himself in ways to where you can also enjoy him, also enjoy that he's um trying to spice up his swag like you spice up your swag. Nothing wrong with that. Or for instance, when I met my husband, I was 20 years old, 1920. I'm from up north. Well, I was born and raised from up. Well, I was raised up north, but I'm born from down south. Okay, I'm born in Savannah, Georgia, but I've been raised up north in Connecticut and New York. I've been up north for many years because of my father being in the military, my stepdad being in the military, whatever. So in New York, all the women there dressed a lot more revealing. At that time, I was just fresh out of high school, going through my little hoochie mama stage. So, I've always dressed a very kind of revealing. I would wear halter tops that would show my stomach. I would wear short shorts. I mean, I was young. I had no babies. I'm fresh out of high school, just kind of sowing my oats a little bit, and that's how I was. I didn't have a man there. I wasn't in a relationship with a man where I had to dress a certain way or be a certain way. I was single for a while, and I had my little freedom. Me and my girls went to the club. I was just young and wilding out a little bit. New York was okay. It was a little too fast for me. It was too fast for my liking. But yeah, I don't at the time. Now that I'm older, I appreciate it. But when I was younger, I didn't, because it was just a little too fast paced. But now I don't mind going back there to visit. New York is still too fast paced for me. That's one of the places I don't mind visiting. I would never want to live there. But yeah, we were stationed there in Manhattan, and I went to school in Staten Island. I went to Curtis High School and everything. So, I was going through this hoochie stage. So when I met my husband is from Carolina. He's from the South. He's a country boy. Okay, so when me and him first got together, I never forget, he had like a family like cookout or something like that, and I was meeting his people, and me being young and being young and dumb and not really used to having nobody telling me what to do. My husband kind of, at the time, he was telling me I need to tone it down, because in the South where he lived, they wasn't used to women dressing like that. And me being young and naive at the time, I just didn't see nothing wrong with it. So sure enough, we went to a little cookout, and I was dressed very hoochie-fied. And these people was all dressed around me like they was in Bible study. When I tell you, I felt totally out of place. I felt totally out of place. And that's where he had to make me realize. He said, look, my family, we're not used to that. You know, when you come around my people, you have to tone it down and dress a certain way. Now, I easily could have got offended and said, well, this is me. This is how I've always dressed. You knew what you was getting into when you met me. I could have had this attitude and bucked them, but realizing that, you know, he was only telling me this for the sake of trying to save me from being embarrassed. Not only embarrassing myself, embarrassing him. So in that case, it wasn't so much about him trying to change me. It was basically him grooming me in a sense, because I was going to be in his family for a while, and he knows how his family is, and he knows his family can be judgmental, and he did not want them looking at me as such, knowing that underneath, regardless of how I dressed, I wasn't the way they thought I was. But it was me who had to be willing to compromise and make those changes so we both could get comfortable. And that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between changing somebody and grooming somebody. If somebody's trying to groom you or change you for the better, don't get offended by that. If you've always been an alcoholic, you always drank a lot. Now you got a companion that's getting on you and monitoring you about, wait a minute, you don't have one too many. That's what you need. Sometimes you need somebody to come in your life to groom you and make you a better man and a better woman, because some of us need much grooming. A lot of us, our parents couldn't discipline us. A lot of us, we couldn't discipline ourselves. But sometimes if you find somebody who you love enough or who you really care about, they can groom you in ways that you probably didn't even have the confidence in being able to groom yourself in. So we all have to take that in stride. Yeah, yeah, you know, and that's how, yeah, Trax Wanson, you know, he did. I just bucked the system. He did. He practically did. He knew I was the way I was dressed. I mean, me being 19, 20, I'm not thinking these folks are highly religious and dressing, you know, I ain't thought nothing like that. But I remember when I came up there, I remember he handed me the car keys real quick, because it was something I needed to do. And I guess based on some of the looks I was getting, he wanted to hurry and get me out of there real quick. But yeah, it's all about grooming. You have to be willing to work on some things to make to make your relationship better. It's not about this man trying to change me or this woman trying to change me. Sometimes change is good. You can't be 30 years old and still have the mind of a 20-year-old. You can't be 40 and have the mind of a 30-year-old. You can't be 50 and have the mind of a 40-year-old. You have to, as you get older, your perception of life has to change. You can't look at things the same way. You know, you have to mature. Wisdom's supposed to make you mature and grow up a little bit. And it's unfortunate, a lot of people just don't grow up. Some people just don't learn. There's another side. Another, this is a major sign here that your relationship is on life support. It's when the sex gets bad. This probably should have been number one. When intimacy becomes like a job instead of an enjoyment, you practically know your relationship is pretty much doomed, or is getting there, is going there. Basically, when it gets to the point that every time you and your partner become sexually involved, you start feeling more like it's a job, like it's like washing dishes. You're not looking forward to it. You really want it to be over with before it even starts. You know, when you are in process of the act, your mind is somewhere else. You're thinking about what you got to cook tomorrow. You're thinking about what time you got to schedule an appointment to get your car or changing your car. Your mind is everywhere else but that. Thanks, Anthony Dunlap. This is your for the fourth donation today. Thank you, Mr. Dunlap. Thank you, Anthony, for the fourth donation today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. Trax Winston. When the intimacy becomes stale to the point to where either one person always wants it and the other person never does, that's a problem. Or one person, or you may have to have the individual, they will participate, but the problem is in the middle of the act, they are stiff as a board. They seem uninterested. They're not responding. They're not really engaging. They're acting like they're not enjoying it. They're just there like, you know, like they standing in line at Walmart customer service. They just there to be there. The thing about it is, see, sex is different from men and sex is different from women. Women, the majority of us, most of the time, we connect our emotions with sex. We connect our emotions with sex. And men, y'all don't. A woman, if she's having a bad day or if she's going through something, you know, 9 times 10 she's not going to be in the mood, or especially if the marriage or the relationship is going through a very bad moment and that issue hasn't been resolved. It's hard for a woman to be intimate. It's hard. It's hard for women to be intimate. It's like when our emotions shut down, so do our hormones. And women, we just allow our emotions to get in the way. And when our emotions get in the way, it makes it hard for us to be sexually involved. You know, unfortunately, men on the other hand, no matter what y'all going through, y'all not going to turn it down. You really having a bad day at work, good day at work. Man, y'all don't allow y'all emotions to intervene with y'all sexual engagement. And you know, that's where men differ from women. But the problem is when we're not given, when we hold back on sex from our companion. Ladies, gentlemen, you know, when you hold back on your companion and you do not give them, because basically what people don't, let me break this down. First of all, sex is supposed to be the gravy to the relationship. It's supposed to be like gravy. The problem is people, this is when it comes to sex, people either use sex to compensate for damage, or they either use sex as punishment. And usually that's what women do. Women usually hold back on sex to punish the man, and men usually want to have sex to compensate for whatever it is that's not going right at the moment. Thanks, Trax Winson, for your donation. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. The sex is important, you know, but the sex is supposed to be the gravy to the pork chop. Like, in other words, it's like this. Sex is supposed to be a bonus. Sex is supposed to be the dessert. It shouldn't be the main appetizer. If your relationship is only based on sex, it is not going to last long. It's not going to last long. They're positive towards a woman being in their emotions or making emotion based on decision. Yes, Anthony. There is a positive and there's a negative when a woman is being emotional based on decision. Start with the positive. The positive is by a woman being emotional, she's less likely to make too many bad decisions, because what happens is emotions have a way of restricting a woman. Like, for example, if to give you an example, Anthony, to your question, say me and my husband, we on bad terms. We had an argument, you know, we're not on a good term within our marriage. And I go out one night with my homegirls, and we having some drinks, we chilling, you know, we having a wait to excel moment. We having our little drinks, our little wine. And this gentleman comes up to me and approaches me, you know, has a conversation with me, you know, and he wants my phone number or wants to take me out or whatever the case is. My emotions will kick in and say, nope. I mean, even though he's a nice guy, he's an attractive guy, I'm in a relationship. I love my husband. Yes, right now we're having a bad moment. Right now we're not in a good place, but that's not enough for me to give this dude my number. That is where my emotions is positive. Okay. So that's one example. Now, an example where an emotion could be negative for a woman, because some women are like this. It could be it's sitting with another woman, her and her husband may have a little rift or be going through some tension in their marriage. And she goes out with her girls. I'm using the same scenario. She goes out with her girls, they have some drinks, and the dude approaches her. And because she's very vulnerable, maybe she found out she caught her husband cheating, found out her husband was messing around, and he confessed to her, yeah, I've been with this woman. And emotionally, because she's upset about that, her emotions may make her give in and accept this guy's number. Basically, because she's emotional, she's vulnerable, she's willing to fall prey to this guy by accepting his number. And so in this case, that means that her emotions are actually working in a negative manner for her, because she's vulnerable right now and her emotions are misleading her. Because she's upset with what's going on over here, she's allowing her emotions to make her vulnerable in another situation. So in cases like that, our emotions hurt us more than help us. Original person could be easily right. Yeah. Well, Anthony, you just basically said that you just basically spoke on a scenario I use. Like I said, if a woman is having problems with her man at home and she's out at the club, and here it is, some nice looking 6'7", nice Armani suit, gator shoes guy approaches her with good game and good conversation. If she's vulnerable at the moment because things are not going right on the home front, then yes, her emotions will allow her to get pimped. That's exactly what happens. So in that sense, emotions are not good for women when we are vulnerable. It is not. It is not. I've seen too many women make poor decisions based on their emotions. Women went to bed with guys that they didn't even really want to be with like that. But because at the time she was emotional, or she found out her man was cheating, I'm upset, I want to retaliate, I want revenge. She goes to bed with the first man that gets her attention. Then no, emotions are dangerous for us at that point in moment. Yeah. But see, this is the thing, Trax Wanson, that this is the problem. You stated if he made her mad, she's gonna start working on a replacement. Well, that's what happens, Trax. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of women have done that. A lot of women have found themselves vulnerable because things didn't go right on the home front. She's having problems finding her man cheating, or it may not be she found a man doing nothing wrong, just things, going out of pocket. But 9 times out of 10, when a woman starts looking for a replacement, 9 times out of 10 is because she done found out he's with somebody else. And what she's trying to do is she's trying to compensate for that pain by thinking she can replace it by putting another gentleman there to replace that pain. But I'm gonna tell you why that does not work for us, Trax Wanson, and for the rest of the men in this chat room who want the answer to this question. A lot of times when women try to replace you, especially during the time when there's a rift in the relationship or whatever, she always ends up regretting it, because the problem is, even though she had replaced you, the problem was she didn't get over you. Does that make any sense? You can replace anybody you want, but if your heart is still there, it does no good. For instance, how many of y'all men out there can contest that? You broke up with a woman or things went wrong or whatever, and y'all went y'all separate ways. You find out she already done moved on with another guy, okay? So you thinking, oh, okay, she good now. She got her a new man or whatever the case is. Now you turn around and get you a woman, and now she's mad. Even though she was the one who got her man first, now she's mad with you, and you wasn't mad with her when she got her man now. Now she's mad with you. You know why? Because she replaced you. But the problem where she felt that she can't replace her feelings. That is what has screwed a lot of women up. I tell any woman, if you have not really gotten over the man you care about, do not think you can compensate by grabbing another guy and putting him in the place of the guy you still love. It never works, because what's going to happen is You're cheating a new guy out of giving him all of you because a part of you is still over here and you know it. Um, let's see. I was thinking about bushes, especially if the current man can provide a vacuum. Well, see, Anthony, that's a whole nother situation. That's for women who are really in a suck ass relationship. If the man's not paying the bills, he's just being a bum or something like that. Then, yeah, I mean, of course, that's going to provoke her to a certain extent. You know what I mean? In that case, if the man is just not being a man. But I'm saying if you, for the most part, always been a good guy and you've always been a provider, not a perfect guy, but you, for the most part, you've been a provider, you've been supportive, you always handled your business and stuff like that. She's not going to get past you like that. A lot of times, women will do that crap thinking it's going to straighten you up. She'll go and get a quick replacement, think it's going to straighten you up. And instead of it straightening you up, it makes you go get another woman. And now she's sitting there like, well, damn, now I'm stuck because I only got with this dude to prove a point. I didn't think getting with this guy was going to make him go get with another woman. Let me see. Hershey says, well, I hate that Negro when I left. No feelings were there. Can I spawn on that? Well, that's another situation, Hershey. Just like men get tired, women get tired too. So in that case, Hershey, you had no regret. That wasn't, you didn't leave him because you was trying to prove a point to him. You get what I'm saying? That's why I say it's different dynamics to the situation. If you and that person, if the relationship was already out of whack, was already whack, you're not going to look back. I'm more so when I was answering Anthony's question, I was breaking down the different dynamics as to when it comes to women with emotions, how do we apply good emotions and bad emotions? Yeah, but in that case, Hershey, no, if it was a guy you just knew, there was no connection. There was no growth. That's a whole totally different situation. I'm talking about these females who know they still have feelings for a guy. They still feeling this guy, but they will turn around and spitefully get another man to prove a point, and then thinking that, okay, if he sees me with my new man and see that I'm happy and see that, we're in a good position or whatever, she thinking she proving a point when really she hurting herself, because if you still got feelings for your man, this new man ain't gonna comfort you but so much. If you really want to be with Robert, why are you wasting your time entertaining Daryl? But a lot of women do that crap and it has backfired, because what happens is instead of you getting Rob jealous, what you do is you make Rob go get with somebody else. And now you don't put yourself in a messed up situation, because now you stuck with a man who you really didn't want like that. He was supposed to be the rebound guy. Thanks, Anthony, again for donation number 5. Thanks, Anthony. Anthony has really, really been hooking my channel up. Donation. Yeah, it's so many, it's a lot of women that do that crap. My thing is, unless you know for sure, don't be jumping out there and trying to get a quick replacement to try to spite somebody. Because why you thinking you calling somebody bluff? Now, this is if you're a woman who still got feelings for a man. Now, if you done with him, like a Hershey Kiss case, she didn't care, she was overdue, she was done with him, it wasn't no looking back, that's a whole nother story. But if you know you still got feelings, don't go bringing another person in the picture to try to make the other person jealous and you try to spite them, because what happens is the pan, it ends up backfiring. You thinking getting with a new dude is going to make the man you really love appreciate you. All it does is send some signals, well, she done moved on, so I'm going to move on. That's what happens. Yeah, exactly. Trax Winston. I've seen many women do it. I've seen many women. I had a girlfriend do that one time. Her man fell out, broke up, separated. She went in the first dude that gave her attention. She fell for it because she so badly wanted her relationship over here to work. But what was happening was, because men, y'all have your pride, y'all have your ego. He wasn't giving in, okay? So she got with this guy thinking that if her ex see she with another man and another man want her, okay, he'll change his mind and give in. He didn't do that. He saw she moved on, so he went ahead and he moved on. She had a proverbial fit. She could not believe that he turned around and got with somebody. But I'm like, what did you expect? You had got with someone. What you thought? He was going to sit around and wait? I mean, that game don't work for everybody. In many cases, I've seen it more so work on women than men. Now, I've seen men who, when they would separate for their wife or girlfriend, whatever, or they broke up, I would see men, I noticed this for men, when they go and move on, the woman, she breaking her neck trying to get back to him, especially if she was still in love with him. Because he's single the whole time, she don't care. Acting like she don't care. But the moment she find out another woman is in the picture, she breaking her neck, blowing up his phone. How you gonna sit up here and how you moving on and dating other women? I only been gone for like a week or so, blah, blah, blah. Now the whole week she ain't calling. The whole time she had nothing to do with him when they were separated. Now I see women do it. When a woman find out a man she loved, that they were supposed to be on a temporary break and she done find out he already dealing with somebody, a woman will run back to her man quicker, knowing he got a new woman, than a man will run back to a woman knowing that woman got a new man. Trax Wanson, you're one honest dude. It works all the time. It works all the freaking time. That's why I keep telling my sisters, do not sit up there and play with a guy's feelings and you walk away from the relationship because you want to prove a point. And as soon as he turn around and get with somebody, now you trying to break your neck. You trying to make problems for the new woman. Everywhere he go, he taking a new woman out the Red Lobster. You busting up the Red Lobster. Every time him and a new woman make a move, she's somewhere. You and a new woman in the grocery store, here she is, she in the parking lot. I'm like, because it's all a game. I tell women, do not play games unless you really mean it. Do not. Plenty of times I could have left my position. Me and my husband broke up several times. I could have left my position several times. I wasn't no fool. I wasn't about to do that. Knowing the moment I leave my house, it's some desperate helper waiting around the corner, waiting for me to slip and make a move so she could park in my parking space. Absolutely not. I was not giving up my parking space. These old desperate ass broads out here waiting for a woman to give up on her relationship and leave, especially if it's a good relationship. Now, if the dude was a square, he was a bum, he was nothing, then that's a different story. But if you know, for the most part, you got a good guy that's a provider, he has he has his problems, he got stuff that may piss you off, but for the most part, he's a good guy, and you want to play games and you want to go grab some quick fix or some quick dude just to prove a point to him and thinking you're gonna win him back like that. No, all that does is give him the okay, well, she got somebody, I'm gonna get somebody too. It has never worked out. I've never seen women who pulled that stunt and it worked out. All for the women who have pulled it and were lucky to get their relationship back, it was never the same. Because in the back of her mind, she's going to always wonder about that other woman that he chose over her, or she'll never get past it. Even women who do luck up and their husband and their man do come back after he done been with that woman, she'll never get past it, especially if he was in a relationship. Now, that was one thing if that was something he hit and quit. But if he done, walked around with this woman like she was a trophy. He done been everywhere with her. He done been around the family. She will never feel the same. Even if he leave the woman to be with her, come back to be with her, she'll never feel the same about it. It never does. It never just. I would just do it. Tracks, yo, you killing me, yo. Like for real. Don't forget the thumbs up, everyone. Oh my goodness. You are brutally honest. But I appreciate it. I thank you for admitting it because it's women in this chat room who need to hear it. Men will move on. Don't play the game unless you know you made up your mind and you officially done and you really don't care. Don't play the game and then he turns around and he gets with somebody. Now you want to mark your territory. It don't work that way. It's too many women that play that game, and then when it don't work out in their favor, he ends up happier with the next woman. He gets in a relationship with the next woman. Now you miserable with this rebound guy you tried to replace him with. You miserable because the man you really wanted, you was just using this guy to spite him. Now you stuck with the rebound dude. And now if the rebound guy finds out or he starts catching on that he was just a quick replacement, then you'll start going through changes with him too. It's just a never ending situation. Well, I appreciate your honesty, Trax Winston. Um, yeah. You just have to be careful. You have my thing is you have too many grown women and grown men who play mind games, and that's how people get hurt, physically and emotionally. That's how people get hurt. If people would just learn how to communicate, express your feelings, and like adults, lay your cards on the table and say, look, what is it going to take for me to make you happy with me? A lot of times we're too busy looking for what people are going to do to make us happy. Very rarely do we ask someone, what can we do to make them happy? And my thing is, there's no such thing as called being whipped. There's no such thing as being dick whipped. There's no such thing as being whipped. My thing, if you and that man love each other, if you and that woman love each other, y'all got to do whatever it takes to make it work. And when it comes to love, you can't put no limitations. You can't say, well, why are you doing so much? There's no such thing as doing too much. When it comes to having a relationship, you got to go all out. That's what it's all about. If you got to put limitations, well, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that, then that's something you may have to reflect upon and really do some self-examination and find out if this is what you really want, because everybody is not in a relationship for the right reasons. Now you got some people that don't want a soulmate, they want a helpmate. You got some people, they really don't want a relationship. They just want somebody who's going to help them pay the bills, or they just want somebody who's going to fill in the place of the person who they really want to be with. Everybody don't have the best intentions when it comes to a relationship. And sometimes even you got to check yourself. You know why you really with that man. You know why you really with that woman. You know what you up against. What's up, Mortal One? Thank you for coming in. Even though I don't have long on my chat, because I've been chatting for quite some time, but I thank you for coming in. You might as well sit to the back of the church because your ass is late. Church been gone for about an hour and some change, so you don't even need to walk down the aisle. You need to sit to the bench in the very back near the exit door, because nobody don't even need to see you strolling in late. Thanks, Hershey Kids, for coming in, love. I appreciate it. You hung in there for a while. So hope to see you soon next time. Thank you for coming by to support me. I appreciate you. You have a good one now. Yeah, so that's the really the basic reason of me doing this video is that people have to understand you have to be honest with yourself and know when your relationship is on life support. We have a lot of miserable individuals, grown men and grown women, who are in relationships that they don't want to be in. A lot of people are stuck in relationship because right now with the hardships, with the financial hardships, some people cannot afford, to leave their relationship. They want to leave it, but they don't want to deal with the financial struggles of being by themselves. You have women that are stuck in relationships because they got too many children. They know they just can't up and leave with no 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, so they stuck or they not working, they not independent, they don't have any money, so they're confined, they're having to tolerate all kind of stuff. All people are in relationships for all kind of reasons. And you have some men the same way. You have some men, they don't want to be in a relationship they're in, but they don't want to pay that alimony. They don't want to pay that child support. They're on wife number 3. They already pay alimony for wife number 2, wife number 1, still paying child support. So they're like, well, I'm just going to have to stay here and just do my thing while I'm with her because I can't afford to leave. It's cheaper to keep her. Thanks again, Anthony Donlip. He's given me the 6th donation today, y'all. He has given me so many donations today. I really feel so grateful. I'm glad that, you're investing in my channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's here. Everybody who's, if you're not donating your time, you're donate. I mean, if you're not donating your money, you're donating your time, which is I'm just as appreciative to that. So I really thank all of you. Thank y'all so much on that. You're allergic to alimony. Hell, I think just about every man in this chat room. I think every man in this chat room is allergic to alimony. Oh, you got 1 year left for child support, Trax Wanson. I know you're going to be doing cartwheels. That last child support payment be feeling like you hit the lotto. I hear you. I totally hear you. Because when my husband not no longer paid for his 2 daughters, I mean, that was the biggest relief. And he had 2 from his ex-wife, too. So that was double the pay. So I feel you. I'm happy for you because I know the aggravation with child support. So you got my blessing in that. I'm glad that journey is almost over for you. I hope she did the right thing. A lot of women up there and come to this child support, they play with it. They use it to their advantage to try to gain control and try to hurt somebody and make somebody's life complicated. And one day you look up, the children are grown and child support is over. I mean, everything comes to an end. Everything has an ending. So I'm glad for you and for the rest of the guys on the channel. Yeah, you ain't got to deal with that no more. Power to you. For those of you who are dealing with it, don't worry about it. One day it will end. You should look up. Your child will be grown. It'll be over. Oh goodness. Oh wow. Why you call your sophomore year? Wow. Yeah, it will be over. If child support seems like a never-ending story, but it ends. As long as you're making your payments on time, you'll look up and it's done. It's done. And if she didn't do nothing with it, she gonna find herself back in the same rut, not getting that check once a month, and she right back in the same boat. It happens a lot of times. Yeah, but definitely, I hope all the information that I gave y'all today, the whole recipe that I've given y'all, I definitely hope that everybody was able to learn at least something from it and everything. But I'm glad that all of y'all were able to come in and hang out with me and chat with me today. It has definitely been an interesting day. But again, I want to thank all of you as my supporters, for riding with me on this journey, for bringing me so much positive energy and positive feedback. Again, I appreciate all of you for your time. I appreciate all of you for your donations. For those of you who have not been able to donate, while y'all are here, just letting y'all know that if I get into commercials and you don't skip through or you don't pass the commercials, that's also giving me revenue. So that's your way of giving me donations without without giving me any money out your pockets. And for you who are giving me donations, if there's any commercials on my videos and you don't skip through, that'll be giving me extra money on top of the money that you're giving me. So believe me, it's a big deal. I know it's sickening, it's aggravating, but it helps us as bloggers to put those commercials there. We earn revenue for that. Believe it or not, I don't know if y'all are aware of it, but we earn revenue when you let the commercials play all the way on out. So if y'all can do that for me, stop and get you something to drink when the commercial come on, or run and use the bathroom or whatever, or check your EPT card right quick, whatever you got to do. Don't skip through those commercials, because that's my little revenue. That's my little paycheck. Yeah, but I understand. Like I said, I take no offense. Whoever makes it to the chat room, whoever does it, I understand life is busy. Everybody has other things to do outside of YouTube. So I get it. That's why even when I'm done doing my live, I leave it. So for those who don't catch it or who come at the end, you are more than welcome to play it back from the beginning. But this message here is going to be on my Patreon account. I'm not going to upload it on YouTube because YouTube is extra about some things. They don't want you using too much profanity. They don't want this. They don't want that. YouTube has more damn policies than correctional state facility prison. It's always, you can't do this. You can't do that. So in Patreon, I'm allowed to get away with murder. I can pretty much do what I want, say what I want. So a lot of my videos, if you don't see me uploading here on YouTube, you be like, damn, Mocha, I ain't been getting no notifications from her. She's not hardly doing any videos. Check my Patreon account. That's why I'm uploading a lot of my material, okay? So every now and then, I'm going to still be doing videos on YouTube and stuff like that. But if you don't see me for a while, check my Patreon, because that is where I'm transitioning. I'm trying to go that direction because I'm able to do way more. YouTube has a fence around me. And in order for me to be able to do more what I would like to do, I have to transfer to Patreon. Another thing is I'm considering doing a call-in show where I can have you as my subscribers call in and ask questions. We go live. That is going to be the next step. So not only will y'all be able to chat with me in my room, you will be able to personally call me live. And whatever questions you have or whatever comments you have, you will be able to talk to me personally live. And trust me, we'll be on live. So if you say something dumb, it's going to be on there. I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to erase it. So that is my next thing. I'm getting ready to transition into getting live in calls, because it's time for me to start doing that or whatever. That way I can start interacting with all of my subscribers a lot more than just the chat room. But on that note, it has been absolutely wonderful. It's been pleasant. As I stated before, please pay attention to the signs to when your relationship is on life support. Don't keep trying to force something to fit where it does not fit. Okay? Don't be trying to make people stay in your life who don't belong there. Sometimes we try to build houses where we're supposed to build tents. Sometimes people are only in your life for a season. Don't get upset if you done been with somebody 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, and they decide to walk out your life. They don't want to be with you anymore. Take it for what it's worth. Some people come in your life as a lesson. Other people come in your life as a blessing. You know what I mean? So you got to take it for what it's worth. Everybody's not going to give you all of what you put into them. You may have given 100%, and you may only get back 30%. That's what comes with the territory of being in a relationship. Sometimes we don't get back all of what we put in. You know what I mean? So don't beat yourself up. Just take it as a learning lesson. If that woman walked out of your life, if that man walked out of your life, who's to say God is not sending you something better? Sometimes God will allow people to show their true colors, so that way when he blesses you with something better, you'll learn to appreciate it. But on that note, it has been wonderful. It is your girl, Lady Mocha. I am the owner of the channel Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where you know I'm always serving you the best topics and wisdom and knowledge and spiritual awareness. It has been pleasant again. Anthony and everybody else who has donated to the channel, all of my subscribers who have came in today, thank you so much for your support. You know, y'all are going to be seeing me again soon. God spares my life. I'll be uploading again really soon. So again, I thank everybody for their support. And on that note, it is your girl, Lady Mocha. I'm going to always be pouring you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always be breaking you off with a slice of knowledge. Y'all take care, and I'll be hollering at y'all soon. Let me see. I got one more question before I log off. I got another question. Would I use chat or email? Email me, Anthony. Email me, because like I said, in a few, especially if it's personal stuff and you don't want to put it on this chat room, y'all email me. Let me put that in there. I'm gonna put in my email for anybody who wants to email me. Hold on, Cafe Day Paris. Yeah, y'all are more than welcome. Chat don't have to end just here. You're welcome to email me anytime. It's no problem. That's my email. It's better to email me because you'll get in touch with me quicker. So anything y'all got to ask me, any comment, anything personal that you don't want to discuss in this chat room, you may have a personal situation that you don't want everybody in here knowing about, you can email me. I've even talked to some of my subscribers. I've had conversations with my subscribers. I've met one or two of them and talked to them personally or whatever. So I don't mind doing stuff like that. I've had subscribers that I have met and they have paid me on the spot after I've given them advice and stuff. I mean, I didn't ask them to, but you know, I guess God just has a way of sending people to bless you. So yeah, all of y'all are welcome to email me. It doesn't matter time of day. If I don't get back to you right away, don't give up. Just give me some time to get back to you. So yeah, y'all are more than welcome. That is my email, Cafe de Paris 79 at yahoo.com. So make sure you hit me up on that, Anthony. And I'll be glad to answer any questions or anything you need for me to do. I don't have a problem looking out for you on that. So on that note, everybody, it's been wonderful. And I will holler at y'all later. Bye.